In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Harvey Alpha HW110S. And if you stick around till the end, I'll tell you how you can win your very own Harvey MG36.
Me from the editing future here. So I actually filmed this yesterday and I didn't like it, so I reshot it. But there was one portion of yesterday's video that came out way better. When I talk about the fence, you're gonna notice I changed clothes, and that's simply because everything that I shot today was out of focus when I talked about the fence. So hopefully that explains what's going on. Let's get into it.
First of all, Harvey did send me this table saw, so I did not pay for it. However, these opinions are my own, and I used a Harvey Ambassador for about a year and a half, so I feel pretty confident in the brand. Number two, my saw is different than what you could expect to see or what you've seen in the past because I do not have the overhead dust collection set up and I have a router plate installed in the extension wing. The table saw will come exactly as you see, minus the extension wing router plate, and you'll have the dust collection with it should you choose to install it. However, this saw performs the best with incredible dust collection when that is hooked up from what I have seen. I did plug the inlet for the smaller hose because I don't have it hooked up, but other than that, this is the Harvey Alpha HW110S as you could expect to see yours. So let's start this off by talking about what this saw is. It is a 230 volt, 4 horsepower cabinet saw. It's got a 44-inch cast iron top by 31.5. You also have an extension wing. In the case of the 36-inch, you have one extension wing, and it measures 19 13/16 by 31.5. The overall size of this saw from the back rail to the front of the front rail is about 36 3/4, with an overall measurement from that tube end there to this tube end here of just under 70 inches. The saw also has an advertised rip capacity of 36 inches. However, with the fence in the high position, I'm currently getting about 38 3/4 of rip, which is a nice little added benefit. This is no small saw. It is coated with titanium nitride, which is how we get this beautiful gold appearance on this top. And let me tell you, it looks even better in person. Now let's take a look at some of the features up close. So now let's turn our attention to the adjustments and the on-off switch. This on-off switch is one of my favorite things about this new saw. And I know that that seems really weird, right? Well, if you've ever used one of the Ambassador saws or you've seen a switch like this, then you understand my frustration because this paddle gets knocked off really easily. While the switch functions perfectly and it's really easy to use, this switch is so much nicer. It's just a really easy to use, enjoyable experience, very easy to hit with your thigh. It's incredibly nice. I don't know why I'm so worked up about it, but I really hated the one on my Ambassador. I really love this one. Now the next thing that we'll notice is just how easy the adjustments are on this saw. 2 fingers all day long. It's super easy. Now one thing that's different from the Ambassador saw, and a little bit of a quirk to this saw, if we shift focus just a little bit to right here, so you can't even see it. So let me move the bit of a weird angle, but you can see that it is behind the power switch, so you have to reach around the power switch to change your angle. And it's just as smooth. And then of course you have these knurled knobs that you can lock down your adjustments. These are all metal and very heavy duty. But let's listen to how beautifully this saw starts up. So now let's take a second to look at the insert plate. And this is where things are a little interesting. You might notice I have some tools and a bolt sitting here on top of the work surface. Well, that's because you'll actually need 2 separate tools to work on your insert plate. And Harvey does include those, so that is nice. This smaller one here will be used for adjusting your points of contact, helping you level it out. This larger one here is used to remove the bolt in the front, which is this guy here, so you can remove the insert plate. Now let's take a closer look at how the blade raises. You'll see that it's on these dovetails here, and it comes straight up. The blade position does not change, and that's important because most saws come up at a slight angle this way. They kind of arc forward. This saw does not. And that's incredibly important for accuracy because I know that the center of this blade will always be in the same position no matter what height I have this saw set to. Another really nice feature about the Harvey saws is this little pull tab right here. This makes it easy to remove the riving knife. And why would you want to remove the riving knife? Well, you might want to remove your riving knife so that you can install your Harvey blade guard with dust collection. You'll simply pull that tab back, set the riving knife in, press down, and it's installed. The nice thing about this, if you look up here, is we actually have a dust collection port. You get a hose with this dust collection kit that connects here and goes onto your overhead dust collection, and that connects into your 4-inch dust port via a smaller port. Obviously, it's a smaller hose, and that allows you to have overblade dust collection. And since we're talking about the accessories the saw comes with, I figured now was a good time to show you what you get in the box. You'll receive a set of blade wrenches. You will get yourself a nice machined dado insert, just as nice as the standard one that comes with it. You receive the blade guard with overhead dust collection, and there's a whole kit of a big bracket, a nice arm that holds the dust hose for you. And you get the ever popular Harvey MG36. One thing that every Harvey table saw owner knows is how incredibly smooth the Master Rip fence system is. If your table saw fence doesn't move this easy, well, you don't have a Harvey. Now let's take a look at what makes this saw so smooth, and that is quite simply a small, hard plastic contact point. Now when you first get your saw, they will be round, and over time they will flatten out, but it is an incredibly easy part to replace should you need to replace it. If you don't want your saw to flow smoothly like that, that's fine too. There are 5 adjustment points which will set the height and glide of your saw. The 2 in the front push it closer or further away from the rail. The 2 on top set your height, and the 1 in the back of the saw set your height. Then you have tabs here in the front of the fence that will actually set your left and right, as in square, to your blade. So if you are somebody who prefers to have a fence that moves slower so you can get more accurate micro adjustments, that's fine. You can set your tension, and it's really easy to do. All right, and here's my final thoughts on this table saw. After using it for a week, I can tell you that it has just destroyed everything that I've put through it with no signs of slowing down. The top looks fantastic. The saw has run great. I love that the on and off switch is much better than the last one. I love the beefed up rails, the incredible fence. Everything about this saw is nice. Of course, I'm not a big fan of the insert plate having that screw in the front and then the wheel for the tilt being on the opposite side that I'm used to, but those are minor things and I will get used to those. Now, I'm sure you're wondering about that giveaway. Well, when I got sent this saw, they also sent another Harvey MG36. So this is mine that I got back in December of 2020. And I love this thing. But I have another one brand new in box, and Harvey thought it would be a good idea to give it away. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So all you have to do to win is be in the US, comment on this video telling me why you want to win this, and subscribe to this channel. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be picking a winner and doing the giveaway. So I want to thank you all. I hope that this has answered some of the questions that you might have had on the Harvey Alpha HW110S. This is the 36-inch version, but I believe most of this will apply to the 52 as well. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.